Hello everyone and welcome to a new video. Today we're going to paint some Space Marine Eradicators as part of the Blood Angels chapter. Recently I made a video about my pile of shame and these miniatures were part of it, so in that video we got them ready to be painted and primed, so in case that you're interested I'm going to leave the link in the description. The color scheme of the Sergeant and the rest of the members of a squad in the Blood Angels is slightly different, and that's why first we're going to paint this Sergeant and then we're going to paint this beautiful Eradicator with a multi-melta. Okay, so let's start painting this Sergeant, and the first color that I would like to use is Abaddon Black, and we're going to use this color to paint the weapon, the inside parts of the power armor, all the cables, and the inside of the shoulder pads, because this is a Blood Angel Sergeant. And then we're going to use Corn Red to paint the rest of the power armor. The miniature is red, but it doesn't look like a proper Blood Angel because of course this is too dark, so now we are going to apply the first highlight with Mephiston Red to the power armor. And in the Blood Angels chapter, the fire support units, they have blue helmets, but in my case I'm not a huge fan of having the whole helmet in a different color than the rest of the power armor. That's why I will try to keep it a little bit more subtle, and I will just paint with Cantor Blue the part that I left unpainted of this helmet. It would have been much easier to just prime the miniature with red and then apply Null Oil over it and then later some highlights. That will be super easy and we will get also super nice results, but I prefer to do things in this specific way. I like to go from the darker red to the brighter red, and I like this transition of the colors. I like how this looks, and I also like to have like this darker vibe in the back. I don't know, I like it to do it in this specific way. And with that being said, now let's start applying the metallic colors. Now we are going to use Balthasar Gold to paint this specific part of the weapon, and also we're going to paint the gold elements, like for example this in the back and also this Blood Angel symbol. And then we're going to use Lead Belcher to paint the silver metallic elements, like for example some parts of the weapons, these metallic things that we have around the cables, and also some of the details of the power armor and the back. And to finish with the base colors, now I would like to use Wraithbone to paint this symbol in the weapon, the paper of the Purity Seal, and to finish painting the shoulder pad. Now that we finished with the base colors, we can start with the shades. In this case we're going to use two of them. First we are going to use Null Oil and we're going to apply this shade to all the silver areas. And after that we're going to take Agrax Earth shade and we're going to apply this one to the gold areas and also for the paper of the Purity Seals. And now that we applied all the shades, we can apply a final highlight to the red color with Evil Sun Scarlet. And now that we have a brighter red color, we're going to use Cavalite Green to paint the eyes of this Space Marine and also some of the screens that we have here in the wrist. And then for the blue color, I'm going to treat it exactly the same as an Ultramarine, so I'm going to highlight it first with Macrage Blue, and after that I will use a little bit of Calgar Blue. Now that we also did the blue highlights of the helmet, I would like to paint that skull with gold as well, the same one that we used until now. And I would also like to proceed to highlight the black color. For that I'm going to use two different greys. First I would like to use Asian grey, and after that I would like to use Dawnstone in the areas that will be the most exposed. To finish with the highlights, now we're going to proceed to highlight the metallic colors, and we're going to use Stormhost Silver to highlight the silver color, of course, obviously. Then we're going to use Runelord Brass to highlight this specific part of the weapon, and finally we're going to use Retributor Armor to highlight the rest of the cold elements. We're almost there, we just need to finish the last details. So now we are going to paint this right knee with blue, the exact same blues that we used for the helmet, and after that I would like to add some company markings. This is going to be part of the second company, but instead of using yellow I would like to use the gold colors that we used previously. And then I would like to use Corax White and then also Cyberite Green to add the final details to the console that he has on the wrist, and then I would like to use this green as well to add some extra green to the eyes. And after that, to finish, I'm just going to use Abaddon Black again, and I'm going to add some writing here, here and here. Now we just need to base this miniature, but we're going to leave that for later. First, we're going to paint this Eradicator with Multi-Melta, and after that we're going to base both of them together. The main difference between this miniature and the Sergeant that we painted previously is that this one is going to have red shoulder pads, like full red, and then the wings of the Blood Angel symbol, they are going to be black. But aside from that, we're going to use the exact same process and exact same paints. So let's start painting this miniature. And with this, I consider these two Eradicators as finished. Now we just need to base them. I will try to keep it as simple as possible. First, I'm going to glue some battlefield rocks from the army painter. After that, I'm going to apply astro granite, and then I will dry brush the base with Wraith one. And this is it, this is the final result. These are my Blood Angel Eradicators. Let's start taking a look at the Sergeant, and of course, as always, I invite you to let me know in the comments what you think about this miniature and the choices that I made, because, for example, I decided to have like a darker red, but not too dark. So of course I'm curious about what you think about these miniatures. Aside from the helmet, I try to stick to the lore as much as possible. So for example, here you can clearly see that this is part of the second company and he's part of the squad number 14. I decided to give this Eradicator the squad 14 because it's blue. And I thought that blue with blue in the helmet will suit nicely. Regarding the helmet, I would like to mention that because of a personal preference, I decided not to paint it whole blue, because I was not very convinced. I mean, I love the red power armors and I decided that it will be sad for me to paint the helmet in a different color. So I think that it looks better if the whole miniature is with the same color, and I decided to give the helmet a red color as well. But still, as I mentioned, I try to stick as much as possible to the lore. So when I see this miniature, I can say that this is a fire support unit of the Blood Angels, and I can see that that role is marked on the helmet with the blue color as well. With the base, I tried to keep it as simple as possible, and I decided to add much more white than usual. I wanted to be like some kind of white rocky base, because I think that the red color on top of the white is going to pop out a lot, and I like how it looks. I cannot complain about this miniature. I like a lot how this Blood Angel looks. I tried my best. And also for the company, instead of the yellow, I tried to go for this gold yellow, because I think that it looks a little bit more fancy and I like it a little bit more. It's not a huge difference, but it's a small nice difference. And here we have the Eradicator with the multi-melta. With this one, I tried to make the red a little bit more brighter, because of course here there's no unique elements in terms of the shoulder pad being different colors. So of course it's like very red, and I decided to make the red a little bit more noticeable or interesting. But aside from that, it's just the other member of the Eradicator squad. I really like this one with the multi-melta, to be honest. I think that it looks very cool, and yes, I also like that the gold suits very well with the red. So yes, this is the other member of the squad. And as always, at this point, I would like to remind you that if you like what I do and you would like to support my work, I invite you to check the link to my Patreon in the description. And I have to say that I had a lot of fun painting this miniature, so I hope that you liked the video. I am looking forward to paint the Blood Angels Combat Patrol that I got a while ago, and I still didn't start it. But I have to say that this was a very nice learning experience, and now I know what kind of red and the color scheme that I'm going to follow for the rest of the miniatures. And with all of that being said, this is the end of the video. So of course, as always, if you're still here, please consider giving me a like and subscribing. Thank you very much for watching, and see you next time.